This is Norman Stahl. He works at the UCLA Career Counseling Center as a counseling supervisor. This job on the surface seems a far cry from his 22-year career in the Marine Corps, where he worked as a specialist in tactical telecommunications. But in actuality, it is the similarities of that job with this one that have led him to his current career. Norm discovered through taking personality assessment tests that his individual personality traits give him the insight and ability to mentor others in making career choices. He did this throughout his military career, working with the young Marines under his charge. And he does this now, counseling young college-age people. What are traits, and how do they make up our personality?
Personality traits are durable dispositions of behavior that occur across a variety of situations. They're like tendencies. They're like a person's predisposition to react in a certain way in various different situations. Personality traits are more specific than personality theory. Personality traits, a number of different personality traits go together, and in fact they consist of one particular personality theory, the trait theory of personality.
Personality theories focus in on how traits are developed, how behavior is generated, and trait theories really focus in on identifying the characteristics that we possess and the degree to which we possess them. However, trait theories are starting to address concerns such as how behaviors are developed, how traits are generated, and how our goals and motivations affect the development of traits and the degree to which we possess them.
It was Norm's efforts to make the transition from one career area to another that made him stop and take a hard look at what he wanted to do with his life and where his strengths and interests could take him. The answer surprised a lot of people because it didn't seem to fit on the surface what his personality type seemed to dictate.
A lot of people, when they hear I went from being a Marine to being a counselor, kind of shake their head or blink their eyes and wonder, how did you make that transition? That seems very different. And in actuality, I find a lot of similarities between the two. I'm dealing with principally with the same age group of men and women. If people come into Marines when they're 18 or 19 years of age and they stay for 4 years, they're 22 or 23 years old when they get out. That's the bulk of the college population. There are people that are away from home for the first time. Other things that are in common was this sense of purpose, having the sense of purpose in the Marines, having the sense of purpose as a career counselor, to say I'm really making a significant difference in people's lives.
What helped Norm to discover the aspects of his personality that led him to his current career choice was a series of personality tests, or personal inventories and assessments that revealed his unique combination of personality traits.
I went through a variety of assessments, and Myers-Briggs type indicator, strong interest inventory, some skills assessment, and then about 25 very specific skill assessment kinds of things. And on the top of the list had to do with counseling or student services in a college or university environment. And that sounded kind of appealing to me.
The Myers-Briggs type indicator scores people along 4 dimensions: introversion to extroversion, sensing to intuitive, thinking to feeling, and judging to perceiving.
The Myers-Briggs is a frequently used personality inventory, and this particular inventory will give you, after you take it, will give you a 4-letter code that will give you an indication about your personality. These 4 letters indicate various dimensions, such as if you are an ESTJ, E would stand for extrovert, as opposed to being an introvert.
My particular results were I, having to do with energy, were I for introversion, meaning I get my energy from reflecting on my own thoughts and ideas. With respect to what kind of information do I attend to, naturally. I'm one of those folks that relies on hunches and inspirations. While I can force myself to dig for facts and notice details, that's not my normal preference. With respect to how do I make decisions, I tend to be really focused on my own values. Harmony is an important value to me. People's growth is an important value to me.
Because of Norm's natural inclination to be intuitive and concerned about not only his own growth, but in guiding others, becoming a counselor sounded like a perfect fit for his personality. But career counseling isn't the only application for assessing personality. One question behavioral scientists are interested in is the question whether it is heredity or environment that most influences the development of personality.
My brother is running the family business.
Heredity has a great influence, and it's been found through studies. And when you compare identical twins to fraternal twins, the identical twins show more similarity in personality.
The similarities and differences used to describe personality are defined as traits. How many different traits are there? There are several major theories. One theory is Raymond Cattell's 16 personality factors.
Cattell's 16 personality factors, it's also referred to as the 16 PF. Cattell believes that there are 16 personality dimensions, bipolar dimensions, that can adequately describe any one individual's personality.
In Cattell's model, personality traits are based on 16 different factors that range between two extremes. Some examples from his chart include reserved and unsociable to outgoing and sociable, practical to imaginative, or relaxed to tense. Another theory reduced the factors to 3 main traits.
Hans Eysenck has a theory of personality types in which he thinks personality is primarily derived from the genes. He thinks that we differ in terms of arousability and conditionability, and that these determine some of the different personality traits. He's especially high on extroversion and thinks that that is a central trait.
Eysenck believes that there are 3 global factors that can describe an individual's personality. And these 3 factors are extroversion, being internally versus externally oriented. The second one is neuroticism, being emotionally stable or emotionally unstable. And the third is psychoticism, being aggressive versus being kind and caring. And the unique aspect about this theory, he believes that these personality traits are based upon our genetic predisposition, how our nervous system is hardwired.
Most trait theorists, however, felt that Cattell's 16-trait model was too complex and Eysenck's 3-dimensional model too limiting. What eventually emerged from these 2 theories was the 5-factor model.